going on, YouTube? Mike back here for another album review, and this time we're going to be talking about possibly my favorite death metal album ever made, Malevolent Creations, The Ten Commandments. Got the shirt right here, as you can see. So, Malevolent Creation was formed in the year 1988 in Buffalo, New York. They released a demo around 1989. Forgot the name of it, but I listened to it. Pretty damn good album, or demo. Sometime in 1990, 1991, they moved down to Florida, Tampa Bay, Morris Sound Studios, and they released their debut album, The Ten Commandments, released on April 24th, 1991. Now, what I love about The Ten Commandments, aside from, the themes of it, the lyrics, is like, it's this picture perfect blend of death metal and thrash metal itself. It still utilizes a lot of like the 80s style thrash metal, like gang vocals, a lot of the drumming, like the guitar riffs are like very based in thrash metal, but it also has a lot of death metal elements. Like there's some blast beats, the vocals are harsher. They're not like full-on brutal death metal grunts, but they are harsher. The guitar riffs are more down-tuned. They played in D standard on this entire album, and it has like a perfect mixture / element of both. And you can hear during this time how thrash metal itself was progressing further and further into death metal, becoming heavier, faster, harsher. And that's what I really love about this album. It's like a perfect transitional period piece. It's like Beethoven. You can hear how it's rooted in classical music, but it's progressing to something further, which became romantic era music, like the Chopins, the Rachmaninoffs, like that kind of stuff. You can hear how it's like pushing towards a new genre of music itself. And Malevolent Creations, The Ten Commandments, we gotta start off with the very first track, Memorial Arrangements. Normally on death metal albums and metal albums in general, I skip the intros because, they're either cheesy, they're not good, they're boring. But Memorial Arrangements starts off, it's like a funeral hymn basically, starts off like howling winds, then the guitars enter, and then the drums kick in. And then about a minute after that, Brett Hoffman makes a speech.
We pray for his soul to be stripped and tormented of all that is proper, to burn in his sins. In the witness of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, his soul will fall below the valley of death, left to rot forever, to never be free, never return.
And then we get to the first track itself, Premature Burial. Fun fact, this is their most played song on their Spotify. It has about 1,200,000 plays from what I remember as of right now. Yeah. Very brutal, it starts with this like very tremolo pick chugging riff in D standard. The drums hit, and then there's blast beats. About Mark Simpson's drumming is he doesn't overdo it. He lets the music breathe. He has extremely creative fills throughout like the entire album. I like his work a lot better than Alex Vasquez, who came on their second album, Retribution, personally. He just has this like creativity, and he knows how to let the music itself flow. Premature Burial, we got the blast beats, we got the D standard guitars, and we also have gang vocals during the chorus, Not Dead Yet, and then Jason Blachowicz on bass provides the backing vocals, and he says Premature Burial.
Not dead yet, mourning for the dead, expiration, man, premature burial.
song and then a killer guitar solo. I think the best track on the album, Multiple Stab Wounds. Multiple Stab Wounds, I mean, has the best wordplay. The lyrics, it's basically a simple concept of about being stabbed to death. um, but his lyrics are so verbose. And there's also this like rapping line which he drops in the middle of the song. I'll sing it if I remember. It goes like this: painful suffering attacks the mortal side of real life. My conscious hears only words advising it to strike. Aligns what my blade obsession bores into the mind. Trail violence without end, string of corpses left behind. To avoid the capture of many mentors, forever slicing life to sustain your own.
People suffering disappointment inside of real life. Kitchen seers only when the money gets destroyed. Manage with the blame and send your bones into the mind. Fear the violence with the limit comes left behind. To avoid the end of what the leading men are due. Perfect lighting to your living is exactly you.
The way that he describes it is so graphic and grotesque and explicit. It's insane. And the wordplay, chef's kiss. A couple months ago, during New Year's, there was this guy in Clifton, New Jersey. He got high off of like PCP or methamphetamine or something, and he stabbed his cousin to death multiple times. And this was like in my state. When I read about it, I was disgusted, mortified, and broken pieces of his skull fell. Like, this is relatable, this happened not too long ago, and it was in the same state that I live in, only about 10 miles away. He's gonna be in life in prison after that, and his cousin was only like 19 years old, very fucked up. Then we have the next track, probably my second favorite song off the album, Thou Shall Kill. Now, Thou Shall Kill is extremely relevant to what's going on in the world today. I mean, the concepts that talk about are so relevant. Think of what Israel's doing in, Gaza, Lebanon. I mean, Benjamin Netanyahu is a demonic ghoul, just demonically evil. Like, he's taking innocent Arabian lives day by day by the hundreds. I mean, I think they've killed about 75,000 people so far. It's just demonic evil. That's how bad it is. And Thou Shall Kill talks about it as a concept. Thou shall not kill is in the 10 Commandments. And they're talking about how it's like common practice how all this war is going on. It's very demonic. The music is so, like, aggressive. I love this song. Like, one thing that I really love is how when during the chorus, when it comes in, the guitars play like these chromatic scales, and the drumming is actually following the guitars into a double bass, and then basically like the guitars are like in sync with like the fills of the drum. It's amazing in my opinion. It's like incredible. Thou shalt one of the greatest songs on the album for sure. The lyrical matter, the instrumentation, the guitar solo is pretty sick as well, along with the lyrics and how it's really relevant to what's going on in the world. Amazing. Sacrificial Annihilation, that's probably the fastest track off the album. I believe it goes up to like 280 beats a minute. Incredibly fast, and during the first minute, there's this really sick bass solo. It's actually the first one off the album. It's like about 10 seconds long. It's really cool. This song, not super deep lyrical matter, just about your standard sacrificial violence. Nothing crazy. Decadence Within basically talks about like the decay of society and how we see it today. So, one of the lines that hits me hard is, I believe, in the second verse: economical structure falls from our grasp, just the beginning to the core that's now cracked. I mean, you know, and today in America, we see outrageous inflation, cost of goods are nearly unaffordable for lower class, lower middle class Americans. It's disgusting. And this is all because of that demented old man. I actually feel bad for him, Joe Biden, and his cackling hyena of a vice president, Kamala Harris, ruining our fucking economy, which makes me disgusted. Malevolent Creation talks about the decay within society.
Economical structure falls from our grasp, just the beginning to the core.
In California, actually, in 2019, and there's miles and miles of homeless people, and these homeless people are defecating openly on the streets, getting high off drugs, which the governor legalized. They can just freely inject drugs. That's actually the topic of the next song. And what I love about when those lyrics hit there, you actually hear the blast beats building up because of like the anger and the aggression. And you know what? We should be fucking angry that this is happening. Also, I heard of this disturbing rumor from Tucker Carlson happening in California because that evil, demonic piece of filth, Gavin Newsom. Homeless people, they're having food shortages over there. They're actually hanging out by abortion clinics, eating dead baby goop. Most sickening thing I ever read. And you know what's fucked up? You can't even find shit like this in like Central Africa, which is like the poorest area in the world. In California, which is like the 5th biggest economy in the world, this is happening. It's disgusting. The next song actually parallels in to what I was talking about, about the people getting free drugs to shoot up heroin, just throw on the floor like that. Injected Suffrage. So Injected Suffrage, it starts out with a really cool bass guitar solo. Drums hitting, the guitars entering afterwards. Injected Suffrage basically talks about how, you shouldn't be injecting heroin or doing methamphetamine. Personally, if you're addicted to those substances, I have no sympathy for you. And the reason is because you proactively made those choices to get into those nasty substances. Like, no one's going to force you to do it. You proactively made the choice. That's why addiction isn't a disease, in my opinion. I know some people on the left will say it is, but it's not. It's your own personal choices. It's not addiction as a disease. That is a bullshit concept. So anyway, that's why I don't have sympathy for a lot of those like drug addicts into like those much harsher substances. So one of the closing lines of that song, very poignant: don't want to die, should have stayed clean, now you're going to suffer until the end of your being. Yeah, you should have stayed clean. Message received. Now you're going to suffer till you're dead, basically.
Into the anal of a blood, protect yourself, injury, life is done, hanging out the way only the rest of your legend lie, suffering, owning your own decisions. Don't wanna die, say safely, against some of the end of your being.
What I love about this album, and the last song is Malevolent Creation, decent closer. But what I love about this album, like I said, is the combination of elements between death metal and thrash metal. It's like a perfect 50-50 semblance, balance, and an equilibrium. And, it's D standard tuning, so So quite a bit heavier than, what they were using, for years, the regular E standard. But Malevolent Creation, their lyrics have like a more sophistication, poignance to them, which I really appreciate. And also like Mark Simpson's drumming. Whatever happened to this guy? Like he hasn't been on any other metal albums besides like Malevolent Creation demo, but like imagine if Cannibal Corpse had a drummer like Mark Simpson. I'd like him even better as a band because Paul Mazurkowitz, he just doesn't cut it for how technical the band is. Like he just doesn't cut it. Brett Hoffman, he's never gonna play with the band again. He died of cancer in 2018, age of 51, and I mean, R.I.P. to the dude. Dude was a literal giant. I mean, there's a picture of him on the internet. With his bandmates in like 1991. The guy's like 6'6" or something, enormous, very tall but very lanky. But yeah, Phil Faziana, he's the rhythm guitarist. I mean, he's been in the band consistently. Jason Blachowicz, when he took over the band in '95, I listened to their album. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, the lyrical matter was just really just racist. I can't say the words of like this one song. It's called "They Breed." I can't repeat the lyrics. It's too bad. The lyrical matter degraded after Brett Hoffman left. To me, this album really introduced me to like the more underground death metal. Because like before I was listening to metal, but it was more like well-known stuff. Like Cannibal Corpse, DSI. But this like pushed me to delve deeper and more underground. And also, fun fact for you guys, I used to own this album, but I had to sell it because like I was broke. And I do regret that decision. I was just lifeguarding, I bought the album for about like $25-$30, which was quite a bit at the time. Now if I want to buy it again, it retails for like $50. It's quite expensive, quite hard to find, never been reissued, but to me, this album is a 10 out of 10. I consider it easily top 20 greatest ever made, even top 10. It's that good. I bought it on iTunes, after I did sell the album like down the line, and I don't really do buybacks. But yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10 for me. Even on Metal Archives, I gave this album 100. I do have this shirt, which I paid around like $50-$60 for. It's a nice shirt. But yeah, go listen to this album. I highly recommend it. This is Mike, and I'm out.